Hey, good morning. Welcome back to my bait cave. Today I'm gonna do some open pour minnows. I want to do a 4-inch and a 5-inch. I got some new hyper shift I want to try out. I got this ZTX. It's supposed to shift from blue to magenta in some kind of way. I thought this could be a good top color. Something I've never done before. I'm gonna try a hyper shift lateral line. Use this ZGF, and it's supposed to go from a red to an orange to a green. I think that would look cool if I could get the lateral line thick enough where you could actually see the color shift. Before I get started and all that, I got a broke down car. I got to get out of here. It's kind of in my way. Woke up early this morning, tried to beat the heat, and then car won't crank. But I got a feeling it's a bad battery. So I got a battery on its way, but I'm just waiting for it to be delivered. In the meantime, I'll show you the molds we're going to be using. This is the 5-inch open pour. What I think I'm going to do with the top color is I'm going to skin pour it up in this little section back to the gill. I think that'll look good. Sorry about that pause. My battery just showed up. So the other mold I'm gonna use is 4-inch, and I think I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna skin pour that gill area. I think that's gonna look good. So let me throw this new battery in right quick. So just out of curiosity, where you guys live, what do y'all call it? Where I grew up in South Louisiana, this was called a battery. But when I was stationed in Alabama, they called it a battery, like a battery. But the weirdest thing was when I was stationed in California, out on the West Coast. I met a guy there, became friends, I guess, so to speak. But he called it a batricity. He actually called it a batricity. And I guess that makes sense when you think about it. So let me see if I can do this without blowing something up. Oh, I actually hate these things. I mean, they make it easy to carry it, but dang it. Maybe it'll just go all the way down like that. Now let's see if I'm on the right track, or if we're good to go, or did I screw up? Feel like we're good to go. I got that car out of here. Got some room to breathe. I don't know if you can read that, but that's the outdoor temps 105, and here in the bait cave it's 96. That's kind of why I wanted to get started early, if that battery wouldn't have been an issue. So I got the hot plate heating up. I'm not bringing it up to pouring temp yet, but I'm warming up the molds so that when I do that skin pour, it'll flow. I'm gonna use this 262 formula today. I think this is going to be a little bit better it's a medium hard. I think it's going to be better for the swim baits. Now that I got the air out of it, it's time for some ZTX. I like to build this slowly because I don't want it to be, I want it to be translucent so you can see the colors roll over. I really need a smaller scoop than this. I think that's going to be good. I don't know if you can see the colors as good on this camera, but I think that's going to look good. So when I talk about a skin pour, all I'm really saying is just want a little bit of the plastic down in here. And I kind of just let it fill that little area in. And if it goes over a little bit like that, that's not gonna hurt anything. Let me do another one. I don't know if I got that one on camera that well. Let's do the other side. And that's it. Pretty cool, huh? All right, well, the skin pouring is done. Time to put them all together and fill them out. So this is what it's gonna look like all set up, ready to go. That's a 4-inch. There's a 5-inch. My hot plate is not that big, but it's big enough to get 6 across, and I always make them in sets of 6. These are gonna be minnows, so there's no reason to have a kill dot in there. And so I want the temperature to get up to about 275 before I start pouring the bellies in. What I want to do is pour clear up to about right here, this first level of the hook slot. And then the second half is going to come up almost level with the top of the hook slot. This one don't have that piece sticking out, so I'm going to come about halfway up the hook slot with the clear. And then the next half is going to be the other half of the belly color. So the plastic's heated up and we're up to the right temp on a hot plate. So let's get these 4 inches first. See, and that's gonna be it for the clear. Just gonna pour it right up here in the front, just a little bit like that, and I'm going to let the heat take it back. And that's going to be good. The heat will just pull it. It's going to pull it all the way to the back. Now the 5-inch is going to be a little bit easier because I got a good point of reference with that notch in the hook slot. That helps out a lot. See what that looks like? Little rocks. Reminds me of when I was a kid, we used to play with this stuff called Pyrex or something like that. I think it was fool's gold. But a lot of time it looked like this. I think it could use just a little bit more. Maybe one more little dab like that. That looks good. But I think it's going to need maybe a 30-second spin in the microwave. All right. Wish I had a little bit more room between here and the camera. But I really want y'all to see it go in. So yeah, just gonna pour it right on top of this. Hope you can see that okay. And that's it. See, I couldn't stop fast enough. I was looking in the wrong area, trying to get around the camera. But it's gonna be okay. See, it's just right up to the top there. And that's gonna leave me just a little bit of room. A little bit room for the lateral line. Let's move over to the 5-inch, which is just easier because it's bigger. And all this little layer right here is for color, is for something to see through. You're gonna be able to look up from the bottom and see this sparkle silver right through that clear. All right, time to see what this ZGF looks like. Like I said, there's a new one on me. I got a deal on it. You know, I'm always looking for a deal. But it was on sale. So I thought, why not? On these open pored molds, I've been really impressed with this Hypershift. So I'm thinking a little bit more. What do y'all think? I'm gonna do another little half a scoop about the same size. Kind of double this recipe up a little bit. All right, let's see if we can get this line in there. I'm at a very awkward angle right here. Might have over poured a little bit. That one might wrap around the tail a little too much. Oh my goodness. Definitely over poured that one. Got to get my bearings straight right here. Move my head a little bit. Here we go. That one's gonna be fine. All right. See this one right here? Definitely overfilled it. You want to roll down into the tail. These are ones that stopped where I wanted it to. That was a little bit too much, but not so much. This is the one that's gonna be a little bit out of spec right there. All right, let's see if I can get these 5-inch a little better. I actually have a 6-inch version of this that's really simple. Matter of fact, if you just wanting to learn, start off with a 6-inch, because that's the easiest to pour, really. I'm hoping this looks good. You know, I don't know what you guys are seeing. I'm extremely colorblind to reds, oranges, and greens. So that kind of leaves this color out for me. That might be why it looks It just looks bland. I don't know a better word for it. I can see a little tiny bit of gold, not much, but other than that, you know what, it might be gross, but it looks like mucus. Like, you know when you have one of them harsh coals and you hack up that mucus? I hope it don't look like that. All right, done. Time for the ZTX top coat. My nerves got the better of me on that one. Plus, too, my cup was kind of burning through my glove. Let's see if I can get a little bit better on the next one. All right, here we go on a 4-inch. Hope I can get at least one right for you. All right, that'll do. So I'm hoping I got enough of this left over. I think I will. So I'm starting to get these 5-inch cooled off. So now I was able to get the clamps off at 5-inch. They're still very hot, but they cooled down enough. They don't need to clamp anymore, and I can start letting a little air. In a minute, I'm going to start separating them from one another so some air can flow through. All right, so everything's had a chance to cool down. I think we can go ahead and open them. Off camera, I went ahead and poured them mullets like I was talking about, so if they cool in time, I'll open up some of those on camera too to show you what it came out like. Look at these 4-inch first. Still a slight bit warm, but I think they're okay. They're not gonna break or anything. See how I was telling you that little sparkle is gonna see through that clear belly? The effect I was wanting to get with that sparkle flake. Let's see if I can get it to show up in here. See how it kind of jumps up into here, and then that lateral line. That's how I kind of want it to fade out right here. It's back there behind the eye, but by the time I put the eye in there, it's just going to blend right in. Let's take a look at one more. Look at that. I hit the side when I was pouring the silver in there. A couple drops hit the side. Still gives it a little character, I think, anyway. I didn't even know I came that close to it. I think that was pretty good. Again, I'm probably going to put red eyes in these. So that's a set of 4-inch. They're ready for eyes. Hopefully these 5-inch came out just as good. I don't know if I can, I can't see any real color shift in the lateral line there, but I still like it. I'm still going to use it. See, that's the effect I was wanting to get. Open one more on camera here, then I'll do the rest off. That happens when you over pour. You get these little, the edges aren't quite so sharp. See, that's a little bit of undercutting around the eye sockets. I may not have the plastic. The plastic is still hot enough when I skin poured that in there, but by the time I get the eye in it and everything, that's not going to be that noticeable. So here's a set of 5-inch. I think I'm just going to go ahead and call them ZTX, ZGF Hypershift. Even though I'm not seeing a lot of Hypershift in that lateral line, it's still a Hypershift pigment. So before I moved over there to put the eyes in, I wanted to open up my mullet. This is that 3.9-inch Epic mullet. Another collaboration with Marling. I think the Hypershift in the lateral line might show up a little bit more on these. I like the way that looks. All right, so this is how I keep my eyes. I got this book. There's all the soft plastic. These are 10 millimeter, 8, 6 on like that. You know, it's a good little system for me. It works. But for the 4-inch, I need these 8mm, and where I'm gonna go fish with these, I believe I'm gonna do the best with red. So I'm gonna stick with my first plan. My first thoughts when I was making these was gonna be red, but you know, sometimes you could change your mind. I think these are gonna look good on the 4-inch. I think those are kind of cool looking. I wish I had some 6mm red eyes with that cross in it. That's what I really want. But I don't have none. Yeah, that's alright. I think there's a few 6s down in here. Nah, that's the same thing. Well, I guess I'm out. I'm gonna have to get some more. Alright, then. Alright, so if y'all remember my hack from the last video, my glue looks like this now. So I think that's gonna work. I'll show everybody a couple 5-inch, and then I'll do the rest off camera. I think I want that thick line like this. I want to get the angriest look I can out of it. I want it to look like a pissed off minnow. I think that has a predator look. Just to give you an idea, this is about my favorite setup right here, with a 4-aught owner beast hook. I also use a setup like this also with a 4-aught hook, but with an underspin right here coming off of the weight, which I don't have any right now, but I'll get some before I go fishing. Well, that's my first look at ZTX and ZGF Hypershift. It's new to me. I like the lateral line look. I don't know what else I would do with it. Maybe I can come up with some kind of shad look. But definitely have a lot more options I can use with both of those. So everything I poured today is not going to be for sale or anything. That's for my own personal use. I'm trying to stock up for a 2-week trip that I'm up against. It's going to be coming up pretty quick. The area that I'm going in, those red eyes really look good. That's why I seem like I'm kind of stuck on them right now. And those 4-inch and 5-inch minnows are about the size that I like to use in that area. I actually have a mold for a 6-inch minnow, which it seems gigantic, but there's a couple lakes where I can use that 6-inch. Where I'm going, that thing will probably, a 6-inch will probably just scare everything away. And that's not even the Mac Daddy of those nulls. There's actually a 7-inch version of that, which I don't have. I can't imagine ever using it unless unless some of my saltwater friends coax me into getting it and sending them their way. And those mullets I poured, I usually use them on something like this. This is what they work the best on. It's I guess what do you call that? A Texas Big Eye rig or something like that. I got a couple molds to make these swing head jigs. I would actually love to have this mold right here with swing head. I don't know. I haven't seen anything like that yet. If I do, I'm gonna get it. Right now the only swing heads I have is a football head. What I'm thinking about doing, let me see if I can get this in the camera. I want to set up my milling machine to flatten both sides. Just shave off both sides of this football head and get it more flat like this. And depending on what size the football head is, I can actually, I think my mold has 6 different size football heads that go with a hook like this, that molded up as a swing head. And depending on what size I use and the weight it comes out to be when I shave it flat, I'll countersink a hole in each one. Maybe I can get an 8mm eye in one and maybe one with a 6mm eye. Who knows? I might have one big enough for a 10. That would be awesome. A giant 10mm eye and something like that. And then the only other one I got these things right here. But these are a little bit different. These are a swing head, but they take a skirt. So like on these right here, I would put a skirt that covers most of the hook. And then if I did use the mullet, it would just be for a trailer that would come out the back. It would come out the back a little bit. So I'm still not up to speed yet as far as lead molds go, because I've been searching all over. If any of you guys out there know of any mold maker that makes a mold to mold this right here, let me know in the comments down below, because I really want to get one. And also, Owner makes these 8-aught hooks just like this with a few different sizes. They even make it weightless. But in order to have an underspin, you're gonna have to have that's the only ones they make with an underspin is gonna be at least an 1/8 ounce, which is fine for the 5-inch. I mean, this is normally what I use on there. So if any of y'all have any comments or any ideas on anything that we talked about today, give me a shout. I'd like to know your take on it. I found a underspin. This is not an Owner hook. This is actually reaction tackle, but that's what I'm talking about right there. If you want a little bit more flash in the water, against that sparkly belly, this thing like really flashes. So there's something to think about. So that's about it for today. It's 103 outside, and my shop's slowly creeping up on 100. I think we kind of reached the official dog days of summer. So that water temp is starting to really get warm. So you got to remember, you got to slow your roll. Try to find some grass. Try to fish around some of them docks. If you can find a dock with grass, really worth a shot at hitting that for a little bit. Well, I'm the old tired veteran, and I know you guys know what I'm going to say next. Get out there and go fish. Take a kid fishing. School around here is officially started, but we got the weekends. Until next time, y'all be safe. Hope to catch a lot of fish. All right. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you like it, give me a follow. I think when I hit 200, I'm gonna do another giveaway. So y'all stay tuned for that. And I'll see y'all next time.